Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croydragon and welcome back to Microsoft Dangerous Creatures. Today, Aboriginal Dreamtime. Let's get started.
Once upon a time, there were no computers like the one you're using now. No books, no pens, no paper. There was no way to hold onto history except by remembering it. There was no way to pass history down except by telling it over and over. The Aboriginal people of Australia began doing that 30,000 years ago when they first came to Australia from Asia. Click my button to hear the first part of their story.
No music. But of course, I know that, but it was still odd the first time when I was a kid.
In that beginning time, the spirit ancestors of the Aboriginal people lived on Earth, and they had the characteristics of both animals and people. They dreamed a long dream, and in that dreaming, the creatures of the earth came to be as we know them now. In that time, there was not yet death. It was the fault of the first humans that death was let into the world. For the moon came down to the earth and said to them, "If you carry my pets across the river, you will rise again to life after you have died, and so live forever." But the humans refused. They were afraid of the moon's pets, which were all deadly snakes. So the moon said, "Silly humans, now when you die you will stay dead, and I will always send you poisonous snakes to remind you that you disobeyed me." One of those snakes was the mangrove snake. One day he sat complaining to his friend the whip snake. "Yeah, I am very poisonous, but I am so slow. The humans are always chasing me, and I must bite them when they catch me. It is quite exhausting." The whip snake, who was very fast, but perfectly harmless, said, "Let me have your poison teeth, so the humans won't hate you anymore, and since I am too fast to catch, I won't need to bite them." The mangrove snake agreed, and ever since he's been only poisonous enough to kill his food, and humans don't bother him. Some people say that it is a snake's fault that death came into the world. The locust used to go into the ground when he died, and then be reborn with a shiny new skin. But one day, a python got jealous and broke the locust's back. So now, only snakes get to change their skin, and when the locust goes into the ground, he must stay there. If not for jealousy, all creatures would be reborn in new, fresh skins. The echidna used to be as smooth as a frog, but he was punished for luring young men to his campfire and eating them instead of hunting for food like everyone else. The angry tribespeople surrounded the echidna and threw spears until he was stuck full of them. The echidna was great friends with the spider who makes his home underground. So he knocked on the spider's trapdoor until the spider let him in. But the echidna still has a back full of spears, and to this day he crawls underground when he feels he is in danger. The kangaroo used to run on 4 legs, but one day he spied on a sacred gathering where humans were dancing. The music got into his blood, and after a while he could not help but get up on his hind legs and join in. The medicine man bewitched the kangaroo so that he'd always hop on his hind legs and initiated him into the tribe so he would forever be the people's brother. One story tells of a great gathering of many tribes, dog and snake and spider and so many more. The dog people were disrespectful, and finally the great creator lost patience with them. He told them, "Since you barked and howled through my sacred rites, you can bark and howl forever, but never again shall you say a word." And they were struck dumb and turned into dingoes.
Well, that's quite the punishment.
At the gathering, a rat stole a duck to be his bride, and when she laid eggs, her children had the fur of the rat and the beaks and webbed feet of the duck, and they were the first platypuses. The poor mother duck was banished for bearing such strange children, and died of a broken heart. But you can see her children's descendants in any creek in Australia today.
That's a pretty sad house, just so story. Origin story?
At the same gathering was a widow who was denied water, and with her dying breath she cursed the tribes. And they all turned into the animals whose names they bore, and remain so today. And so the Dreamtime passed away, and the spirit ancestors moved to a mysterious place. But they left us the earth and its creatures to love and cherish. This is the end of the voyage into Dreamtime. To go where you will, click the Contents button below and explore by yourself. If you want to hear more tales, click My button to return to the guide screen, and then choose a new path.
That won't have to wait for next time. Anyway, I'm Brian Croydragon signing out. Stay straight!